Okay, what's up, YouTube? It is Kamar, aka Brave Design, um, and I will be talking about some pet peeves of mine, and I'm pretty sure it's the same for other artists. Yes, in case a lot of you didn't know, I actually paint. This is one of my most recent work. It all goes together. It's like three pieces of 16 by 24. Um, and I do paint periodically. I'm trying to produce more pieces so that people have stuff to choose from instead of always having to do custom work. But it's gonna be a little rant video, so hopefully no one is triggered. I don't think anyone was triggered by artwork, but stay tuned, and we're gonna get right into it. Okay, so I just basically just showed you some of my most recent work. A lot of them I did not take pictures because I wasn't taking art as seriously. So I will eventually put more work out, and I'll publish them on my Instagram. Um, I also have a art, Facebook art page, The Imaginative Art of Kamar Reed. But it hasn't really picked up much. I haven't put money into it to promote it. I tried once, it didn't really get me too many. So I just rather, kind of showcase my stuff on Instagram and by word of mouth. But we're just gonna go through the pet peeves. So before I go through that, I'll, kind of give you an idea of the size of my work. Okay, so I do bigger pieces, not because I'm overzealous and I want to do huge things to collect a lot of money, but because I had a horrible experience with, well, it was really horrible. I made this really nice painting. Someone really liked it. The guy was real poor, but he really loved my work, and I sold it to him for 200. It was like double the size of this thing right here. It was huge. So 200 was a steal. Okay, it was a complete steal for him. However, he wanted it framed, and it cost him $200 to frame, and it was the cheapest frame in the store. So I got this idea of doing multiple pieces of canvas where someone doesn't necessarily need to frame them, especially if I paint the borders of it. And so you just have these multiple pieces of canvas that you don't need to frame. So that explains my style, but I'm gonna get into the rant right away. Okay, so rant number one. If you like art and you find an artist that you really like, you like their work, and you decide that you want a piece, please ask them first if they're open to suggestions or if they do commission pieces. Don't just look for every single thing in this world and send them in an email. Send them pictures of ponies flying and Pegasus sleeping and jars falling off tables, and then tell them, okay, I want something like these or something like this, or all of them put together. The reason I say this is there are some artists that are super badass and they can do all of these things. They can work magic. I'm not one of them. I can do portraits, but I don't do portraits only because it takes so much time, and I'm not an established artist, and it may take me 4 months to finish a portrait, paint a portrait, because I have a job and I have other things to do, and then to turn around and have someone offer me $100 for that. That is not feasible. It's a waste of my time. It's less than minimum wage. It's not working out. So you can ask someone that's well established. The only problem is someone that's well established and can do all these things are more likely they're going to charge you a lot of money for it, and I'm pretty sure you're not prepared for that. The second one is, when you see an artist, especially someone you know, someone on Facebook, someone on Instagram that you may be acquainted to, or you just see their work, stop asking for discount, especially when you know that the person's just starting out. Stop asking for discounts. Like, I just don't get it. If I were a well-established artist and I was bringing in thousands of dollars and you're my friend, of course I'm going to give you a discount because you're my friend and I'm established. I may make $1,000 a year off my paintings. paintings. Yes, part of it is my fault because I haven't produced a lot, but I also, as I showed you, my pieces are huge. For example, let me show you something. This is one of the smallest paintings I do, and guess how many pieces there are to this puzzle? I'm not done with it yet. Four of them. So I'll show you two together just to give you an idea. Okay, and it's four of these, and each of them is $50. Okay, I stopped putting in the finer details because I want it to be really good. That's another thing. I don't rush my work so I can make money. I always say to myself, would I want this in my room? Would I want to look at this every day? And if it doesn't pass that, a lot of time I either paint over it, or if it's a different kind of medium, I'll just throw the whole thing away. And I've only done it maybe like twice. But, you know, so I want to know that this is something that I would hang, not just something that because, you know, someone liked it, I'm going to sell it to them. I'd rather give it away free if I don't think it's satisfactory. So stop asking people for discounts. I'm sure, and these are, and the thing that annoys me, a lot of the people that ask me this, they're the same people that will go to a regular department store and see this this huge print of random stuff, I don't know, letters or something, and they'll pay $100 or $200 for it with no problem. And it's so unoriginal. It's just there. They get tired of it after a while because it's just a bunch of sayings or something. And you don't even know the artist. You don't even know who, if you don't know what it is, but you go ahead and buy this. One of the things that pissed me off and made me do this video is because recently I did this one behind me, and this is one of my favorite work. I love it. I would hang it anywhere. I really love it because it tested my ability to not chase perfection, because I have negative perfectionism, which means my paintings never feel like they're done. I'm always finding things to do. So, you know, I was able to leave the sky a little bit blotchy. The moon didn't need to be perfectly smooth. The mountains didn't need to be perfect mountains. And so I love it so much. And it looks really nice. Even before I added the varnish to it, it was just something about the way that I captured the scene that doesn't exist. It was amazing. And I posted it, and one girl commented, she's like, I can't wait to get back to the US because I want some of your work. It's so amazing actually knowing the artist and seeing the work as it progresses. It's amazing. Well, one of my good friends commented and was like, how much is that painting? And I'm like, literally, all my paintings are $200. Okay? No matter how big they are, no matter how expensive they are, they're $200. For starters, because I'm not famous yet, if I ever will be. But I'm just starting up, and I rather, for some reason, I just like the price. It's not too high. $200 is not too high. It's not too low. It's perfect for me. And that was the end of that. I also had a relative that did the same thing. This person makes a lot of money, and I'm not even gonna say he or she, but this person was like, oh my God, your work is on point. I love your work so much. How much do you sell those for? And I was like, $200. And the response was, okay. And I sent a follow-up message. I was like, you know, if that's too high for you, I can make something small. You know, I can make something small that, number one, I can ship cheaper, because yes, I'm gonna have to ship because this person lives like 3 states away. I would have to ship it to them and all of that stuff. No response. I don't understand. And then of course, this one was the kicker. Look how big this thing is. Okay? Look how big it is. And someone reached out to me and was like, I really love the Send Me to Church painting. How much is it? And I was like, how much can you pay? They're like, look, your work is valuable. Whatever you say it is, that's what it is. And I was like, okay, $200. Oh no, that's too much. And I'm like, okay, I need to reach out to an art group online and find out what is art selling for, because obviously I'm overpriced, because I don't remember how much this piece of canvas costs, but anyone that paints a lot, especially using acrylic or oil, you know that no matter how much you take care of your brushes, the bristles eventually start coming out. The handle of the brush sometimes. So every time I do paintings, I lose brushes. Of course, paint is expensive, especially if you get good acrylic. So to cut down on the cost, sometimes I end up mixing my own because I don't want to transfer this cost to customers. And people are still complaining. I mean, I've seen, and this is the part that upsets me. I've seen people, some of the same people, go to art fairs and they will pay $500 for this weird abstract art that's not even on canvas. It's on like a piece of poster paper or something, and they don't even understand it. But it's almost like because it's from someone else, it's almost like they have a greater value for it. And I can't understand. I can't make it. Maybe I'm not a true art believer. I don't know. But they'll pay all this for something. I mean, I remember this guy. He did a print. He made a graphic design print, and I'm not bashing graphic artists that use Photoshop to make their work. I thought his work was phenomenal, but thinking of the whole, how he did it, it was a lot of copy and paste from different objects, which is creative in on its own. But you know how difficult it is to actually hold a picture in your mind, because I don't paint from pictures, and create this piece of unique work that I can never create again. I can't look at things and recreate. I cannot. I don't do prints either, or maybe I should, but I do this, and then someone's gonna want to give me $50. That's not even covering material. I'm basically making $150. I can make $250 in a day just hanging out at work providing coverage. So I spend a whole week and a half doing a piece of work, and I'm getting like $3 an hour. So so that's my rant about the prices. As I said, I don't understand how people, you see something, if you see something, then be interested. Stop playing this game because I'm not giving you my work for free. Or they'll say, oh, you can paint this for me, it gives you practice. I've been painting since I was 12. Thank you very much. I don't need any more practice. In fact, I'll practice while at work. How about that? So I need a proper wage for my work. Otherwise, I'll keep my collection. Who knows? Maybe the art world will change. Maybe I'll move to another city or state where art is appreciated and I can make money from my work. Rant over where that's concerned. Then the next one is the reason I started a collection was because I noticed something. That is, I'm sure other artists could probably testify to this, but when someone is romantically interested in you, a lot of times they approach you with, I really love your work, I would really like to see more, I would really love if you could create something for me. Once again, my phone ran out of memory. Shows you how much of a starving artist I am, because every time I do a video, I always gotta like stop and download the images or whatever. So yeah, so as I was saying, one of the problems I run into, and I'm sure a lot of artists go through, people using their artwork as a way to, get with them. So then they see your work and like, okay, I like your work, why don't you do this for me or whatever, and I'll pay you. The problem with this is, unless you finish the work way in advance to them realizing that you're either not interested or it's not going to work, you're in trouble. So I had that happen to me many times before I finally learned my lesson. This was the reason why I decided to create a collection of work, each being unique to the point where if this person isn't interested in at least one piece of work, I'm just going to assume that you're just joking. The first time it happened to me, someone wanted to come over and hang out. I was working on this really unique piece for someone, and this person came over and they wanted the piece right away. However, I'm not the one to sell the work just because someone has money right now. I stick to, I have great integrity. I'm assuming my parents taught me it. I don't really know, but I have great integrity, and I'm not going to just sell someone's work that I've been working on just because someone else came with the money right away. I ended up getting burned, by the way, because then this person, I was like, I'll make an even better one for you for the same price. And they kind of just stopped talking to me after that. And then the other person, of course, goes back to the price thing. Our original price was $150, and now I had this unique piece of art, and they only had 50. I ended up getting 75, but still. The second time it happened to me, I met someone on Plenty of Fish. This person seemed like a really nice person. At the time, I was working a lot of hours, an average of 72 hours a week. And this person came and they said they loved my work, and I was like, I just brushed off, and before they left, they're like, I really love your work, it's incredible, I can see it in my apartment, just I would like for you to do something for me. As long as it has really bright colors, especially reds and blues, it would work perfectly on the brick wall that I have behind my sofa and everything. I was like, you know what, perfect. So I got really, really large pieces of canvas. It was 4 pieces, and I'll actually post it on here so you can see what I'm talking about. And it was incredible. It was huge. It took me about a month to finish because I kept doing base colors, trying to learn different techniques. I wanted this to be great because, number one, if someone liked my work enough, I want to give them the best. And number two, that's a good way of marketing. When your information goes out and people see your work and they're like, wow, your work is incredible. So I want to make sure it was good. The problem is we live a state away, and I was working a lot, and this person ended up spewing such anger at me because I was spending so much time on the painting and not finding time to see them. Like, we're literally talking phone all the time. So it basically ended up wasting my time. I had this unique piece of art that I couldn't sell because, it was quite an enchanting looking thing, and it was huge. Fortunately, I posted it in an art group, and there were a lot of people that at first were interested, and I just went with the first person. I didn't bid or anything because after all that, there are times when I'm not as confident in my work, maybe because I see it all the time, or maybe because the person that I did it for no longer wanted it or disappeared. It affected my perception of the value of it. So, but someone bought it for $200. This person was incredibly amazed. They actually said to me later that, I should have done prints of it because people kept coming to their home and was really in love with this piece. And then, of course, I told the art group, and everyone is upset. They're like, each piece should have been $200. But, you gotta understand, I'm not a famous artist. There are some things I don't do. I don't really do abstract because I have an obsession with symmetry, and so my brain won't allow me to do that. I'm gonna find some way to manipulate it, and then it won't make sense. So I have a specific style that I'm trying to market. So essentially, I ended up having to, sell this piece of art for less than I expected to get for it. So afterwards, I decided that, you know what, I'm not gonna do this anymore. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna create a collection that I can sell from. So if someone's playing that game where they come around, and in order to, I don't know, establish or create some kind of interest or spark some kind of interest or something, and they're interested in my work, then here I have a collection. In fact, sometimes, well, I won't say something, I haven't done it yet, but I will actually take paintings down from my walls and add to the collection so they can see it and choose from that, because I can always replenish my walls. They don't, not that they don't mean anything to me, but I'm the creator. I can create whatever, and in fact I would love to have sold some of the older work so I can create new ones. So that's basically my rant. But the biggest one is the pricing. I've just been running into this obstacle constantly. I'm not sure. I've looked at other pieces of art online, and I will say, some of them are pretty cheap and they're remarkable. I think the artists are amazing, but some of them, once I read it, I realize it's a print, or it's on paper, or it's watercolors on paper, or they're like really small, but because of how they took the picture, it looks huge. As I said, if you, and my advice to other artists that experience some of these things is have a collection. Have a collection, have lots of it. I'm not saying pile your house up full of canvas and painting, but have a collection. So if someone wants something on the spot, they can get it. If it's someone from out of town, good. Grab the painting and run, get the money, keep it going. But don't undersell yourself, because the more you sell you sell your work for too cheap, is the harder it is for other people, because us as humans, we like to make comparisons, and we'll say, well, I could have gotten this for less. Well, go there then. But when other people are selling their stuff cheap because they're having the same problem, just hold fast to your prices, because it actually increases the price of art real estate, as I would call it. But yeah, if you're an artist and you experience the same thing, if you're interested in art, you know, and you kind of understand the dimensions and how much work that goes into it, you know, leave a comment and let me know. I always leave my email at the end of each video, so if you want to, I don't know, share some advice on where I could sell my stuff and still make a profit and still get motivation to do more work, please do. I appreciate all commentary. And yeah, maybe the next time I'll do a video when I sell some stuff and kind of let you know how the gallery or the virtual gallery or the collection is working out. Until then, I'll continue painting and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks again for watching. Please go ahead and like, share, and subscribe, and check out my art page on Facebook at Imaginative Art of Kamar Reed. You can also go ahead and check out my Instagram at BraveDesign86. I'll leave both links underneath the video. And once again, thank you so much for watching. Have a great